Health and Social Services provide child houses in Wales for victims of child sexual abuse. 227 signatures by Mayamin Meftahi, and was first considered in January 2019. And this is learning on best practice from the USA and Scandinavia, recognising the vulnerability of the child victim and the harm caused to the child by multiple interviews. The Child House uses a child-friendly response to the child sexual abuse. At the time when it came in January, we agreed to write to the Children's Commissioner for Wales, the Minister for Health and Social Services, and to seek an update on whether the review of advice services set up by the previous First Minister is still ongoing. There's quite a lot come back. Just really wanting to know what your actions, further actions are.
The advice services review no longer appears to be ongoing. What does that mean? So they announced previously a review, and now it's been stopped since there's been a change of First Minister. Is that right?
To be honest, we found it difficult to track down specific information. They have been taking some action in the last couple of years around tendering for different advice services, but as far as we could tell, any sort of substantive review of advice in this area went back actually quite a number of years. So it may be that we weren't looking in the right place, but I spoke to the research service and we're not aware of any ongoing work on this, and certainly not anything that was specific to the issues contained in this petition around sexual abuse for children, of children.
Is this since we've had a new social services minister that we have had as correspondent, or does it all relate to before the change of social services minister?
This petition all relates to since the reshuffle and the new government back in December.
I'm encouraged to hear that there's a pilot going on, and that's the information provided by the Children's Commissioner. It'd be useful to have the petitioner's views on that, and to wait for the outcome of that. It's clear to me, and it's been clear to me since I was practising as a probation officer and a women's aid worker 20 years ago, that this whole area is inadequate for both children and adult survivors of child sexual abuse. And there's much more that's needed than safe houses, actually. But I'm really glad that this petitioner has taken the time to put this petition to us. My understanding was that the previous First Minister had announced a review of all services which looked at creating a safe place for women to operate within Wales. Now, I would be really concerned if there's any rowing back on that previous commission by the previous First Minister in the light of the change of First Minister, because it's an area that we desperately need to shine a light on and up our game on in Wales, and this petitioner and her story highlights exactly why we need to do that.
Okay. Neil?
Yeah, I think it's an excellent petition. Say to Leanne that boys get abused as well, so it's if we can take away the single gender aspect of things. And
where does it mention single gender?
You just spoke about you mentioned one specific gender in your last comments, so just picking you up on that, Leanne, that I think we should look at these things holistically for both genders. I
think I quoted what the First Minister had said, didn't I, in terms of the review.
Look, my point is that I'm a firm believer in equality and treating both genders as they deserve to be treated. So I think what we should do is write back to the petitioner, see what their views are, and then hopefully take the petition forward.
Great. Okay. Mike,
I'm happy with that. I think there's other things we can do in the meantime as individual assembly members.
Okay, indeed.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Which one have I missed? Oh, yeah. And then the final one for today is gender pay gap reporting. This petition was submitted by Estelle Hart and was first considered by the committee in October 2018, having collected 56 signatures. Background, the committee last considered the petition on 12th of February, agreed to await a response from the petitioner to the latest information provided by the Deputy Minister. A response from the petitioner was received on the 13th of March, and the potential actions are that we could write back to the Deputy Minister noting the commitment that she has expressed to gender equality and increased openness, but also requesting a clearer indication of the timescales for reaching decisions in relation to future reporting requirements for public bodies.
Happy with that. Perhaps they would say, I know Estelle Hart.
Oh, okay. All members happy with that?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Do we go into private session now? No. Okay. Just note these. Yeah. Okay, so our next meeting will be held on the 2nd of April, when the committee will be taking evidence from the Minister for Education. Now, on this one, I would just ask all members to be here for 9 if possible, because we're doing the actual evidence session at the beginning of the meeting.
Yeah.
I know the difficulties there. So with that, I'll close the meeting, and in closing the meeting, after my first chairing of this session, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our colleague David Rowlands AM for his time. He's been in this chair since mid-2017, and I'm sure that you'd all want me to pass on our thanks to him for doing that.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody. Thank you.
Thanks.